Hi wonderful patrons, we put a post up on our Patreon page on the 5th of February asking you to ask us some questions, anything at all. Let's get personal, and so now we're going to answer them.
Yes,
I guess.
We are.
And guys, not very personal.
No, apart from Liz.
Yeah, Liz. Ask us anything. Honestly, we're going to do this again. If you want to know anything about us whatsoever, our upbringings, how we met, whatever, ask us.
Oh, I thought we'd do a quick, this is how we grew up and kind of personal thing each. Should we do that?
Sure.
Well, okay, so I was brought up in Christchurch, born in Christchurch as well. And I have two older brothers. They live in Sydney, and I'm the youngest, the only girl. My parents still live in Christchurch, and I had an awesome upbringing, super loving family that's really supportive. We get on really well.
They're super supportive of our life on the bus.
Yeah, they're totally awesome. And they're patrons. Hi, Mum and Dad. Okay, so, yep, that's me. And this is Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy. So I grew up in Timaru, which is about 2 hours south of Christchurch, 2-hour drive. And I grew up actually on a farm. So we had a beef and sheep farm, and we had that farm when there was a basic depression in pricing for beef and sheep. So we couldn't afford workers, and we couldn't afford to make that our full-time sort of income as a family. So my dad still worked full-time, my mum still worked full-time in other jobs, and as a family we would all work on the farm every night after school and work, and then every weekend. So that's kind of like what my upbringing was like. We sold that farm when I was about 13 or 14, and then we moved into town, and I grew up in town from that point on, basically.
Still a pretty small town, but a town.
Yeah. I have, my family is still basically down that way. I've got an older brother and an older sister, and they're still kicking around those parts. Yeah. Cool.
And how we met was Andrew.
I put an ad online, and Amber applied. Yeah.
He did not. He actually did. He put a job advert on online for a receptionist at the hotel he was working at, and I applied. And then he interviewed me, and he fell in love with me at first sight. So then he pursued me relentlessly. No, he didn't actually. He didn't. We worked together for 3 months or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And then I left that job and got another job, and then he
pathetically tried to ask her out, but kind of failed. I liked her, and she was crazy and weird, and was probably the worst employee I ever had.
It's true, I was.
But I really liked her, but I was way too professional to say anything or do anything. So when she quit, I was like, yay! Yeah,
so he got in there after I quit, and that was it really. And that was almost 11 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
So, yeah.
And there we go. And we were engaged like a year later. And married a year after that.
Yeah.
And there you go. And then we had kids and all that sort of exciting stuff. So.
And now we're here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So that's a little bit about us, our little personal story.
But ask any other questions, please.
But let's get into it, eh?
Yes. First question, Flo Ballinger. Do either of you like to read, and if so, what are your favourite authors? Great question. We don't read a huge amount, but when I did read a bit, my favourite authors were was a person called Jean Auel, and she wrote a series called The Earth's Children, I think they were called. There's about a series of 5 books. The first one's called Clan of the Cave Bear, then there's about 5 books. Really cool. Yeah, I'll try and link those below. Oh, cool.
Somehow. I think the kids will like those, eh? We'll
when they're older,
meaning to say, read them, yeah. Anyway, funny you should ask, because look what I have over here. I just got these books this week, actually, and this is the kind of stuff I like reading. Not that I really have time to read, but when I do. Woman in the Wilderness. This is Miriam Lancewood, and she's like this amazing goddess who lives in the bush. And it's just about her story of survival, living in the bush, and how she lives. It's really fascinating. This is called Daughter of Gloriavale. People in New Zealand will know exactly what this is, but Gloriavale is a cult that's in New Zealand on the west coast of the South Island. And this girl was born into the cult, and she got out, and this is her story. So yeah, that's the kind of books that I like reading when I've got time.
I prefer podcasts.
Yeah.
I can do something and then also listen and learn.
Yeah.
So Alvaro Miranda, if you were stranded in your bus on an island with no chance of escape, don't ask me how you got your bus on the island. And before you arrived on the island, you only packed one movie, one book, and one music single. What would they be? And then a wonderful witty comment here saying they are stranded on an island. And Alvaro should know that because he's a Kiwi. So
that was good, that one.
Yeah. So for me, a movie, honestly, I wouldn't pack one. I'd never watch a movie more than once.
Never.
I cannot stand doing that.
Never.
It's not my thing at all. Give me something new. I want new input.
Even if it's the worst movie you can think of, and he loved this other movie, he'll watch the new crack one.
The book I would take, probably like I'm stranded on an island, right? So a book on survival or like edible plants.
Oh, that's a good idea.
One music single. Currently, I really like a song by Monica called Cut My Hair.
Oh, you just had your hair cut the other day.
Yeah.
Cool. So for me, I went to the movies the other night by myself because I needed a break, and I watched, I don't know if it's called The Greatest Showman or The Greatest Show on Earth, but it was really awesome. I loved it. It was a musical, which I don't mind. Twice I was like, oh, another song. But most of all, it was really awesome, so I'd probably take that. And the book, I would definitely take Miriam Lancewood because she's a survivor in the bush, and like how perfect to teach me how to, like, she's got a bow and arrow. She's just amazing. Sorry, total woman crush on her, so I'd take her book. And I wouldn't, can I take a soundtrack instead of a single? Because I take Moana, the soundtrack, because the kids love it and I love it, and it would keep us happy for ages.
So next question from Mel Sparkles. Have you found a place where you would like to stay for a bit longer and maybe buy land down the track if that's part of your plan? Well, yes, we do. We would love to buy land. We can't really afford it, but we love Raglan. We absolutely think that that would be an awesome place to live. We're going to spend a bit longer there. We're going to go back and spend some time and see if there is a little bit of land that we could potentially stay on and lease, because as I said, we can't afford it just yet. And yeah,
but also to lease it for a decent amount of time, so that that is the place that we, once we can buy land, we'll know that it's where we want to be. Yeah,
so that's the plan. We would love to have a little off-grid homestead that we could have gardens and chooks and but come and go from all the time. We don't think we ever want to stop kind of being semi-nomadic. It's just like we just want that home base. So
a little base,
that's the plan for now. But who knows? That's it's just about where it is. But we think it's Raglan.
Yeah, at the moment it's Raglan.
Yeah,
we'll see how we go.
So if you know anyone in Raglan that would like to lease us a little corner of their farm, that would be really cool. Thank you. Joseph Orr, have you thought of going somewhere other than NZ on your adventures? Somewhere across, say, the Pacific Ocean. I know you guys went to Australia.
Oh yes. I'll answer that one. Absolutely, 100%. We've thought of it, we'd love to do it. We just have no money to do it. So hopefully one day that's something we'd love to do.
Gary Di Girolamo, I'm sure I butchered that, I'm sorry. Have you ever been to the UK? Any aspiration to? Suspect with the right emails might be able to get a van loan to you for a promo. Yeah, cool. Again, absolutely. Yeah. We would absolutely love to. Yeah.
It's definitely on our list to go to. We haven't really been anywhere. Andy's been to Japan. I've been to a couple of the islands in Australia, and that's all. Yeah. So we'd love to go.
We've hardly travelled at all, and we want to, definitely.
Cool.
Jeff Skipper from travelandvino.com. Does it help you more for viewers to watch videos on Patreon or YouTube, and does it matter? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter,
because watching on Patreon is actually watching on YouTube. It's just an embedded video on Patreon. So watch on Patreon or watch on YouTube. It's all good.
Yeah.
But ask your questions on Patreon because we definitely read them and try and answer as many as we possibly can on that. So yeah. Okay, so Mark at Christchurch. Before the kids get too old, is Bus Life USA or Narrowboat Life UK something you've thought of? Again, yes. Absolutely. We'd love to have way more adventures. Yeah. It's just timing and money and all that sort of exciting stuff, really. So.
But we'd also take the kids if they were older as well, because we'll hopefully still be homeschooling them, so they'll be able to just come with us wherever we go. So.
Yeah. Next question from Mark is, do you come across a lot of like-minded full-time RVers of your age with kids in New Zealand? There's a few around.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's just, we travel way more than them, I guess. So that's, yeah it's kind of hard to all meet up, really.
Yeah, and we didn't really meet up with many of them last year because we were in the South Island. The majority of them are up here in the North Island.
And then his third question is, I see a GoPro on the front screen near Andy as he drives, but is there a dash cam to capture all those crazy, reckless drivers we hear about? Must have seen a few befuddled tourist drivers. Now, I don't have a dash cam, just the GoPro, so we don't capture too much, but there is a bit of...
we have seen some ridiculous driving.
Bit of excitement that goes on out the front windscreen. Black Pete, g'day Pete. And Jenny, Jenny wants to know what brand of coffee you drink in the bus.
Good question. I have it right here. So we love coffee, obviously you guys know that, and we do consume instant coffee. I really am sorry to admit that because it's not something I'm proud of, but we do this because the coffee grinds are just an absolute hassle on the bus, eh?
Just a pain to deal with, yeah.
I mean, we started initially when we moved into the bus, we were using plunger coffee or French press coffee, and we were flushing the grinds down the sink, and out. We stopped doing that about 8 months ago. Every time we empty the tank, even today, coffee grinds still come out. So that's a no-no. It just seems way too hard to empty it into a rubbish bin every single time. Anyway, so we found this coffee. This is from Trade Aid, which is a specific shop that you've got to go to buy this, or you can buy it online, and it's just organic instant coffee. I like it. It's actually, I find, the best of a bad bunch. Isn't it?
It's not too bad. I deal with it. I drink anything.
Yeah. Andy drinks his black. He doesn't mind, but...
Mick Staugard, you must have struggled with the big decision to leave the rat race. How did you deal with the doubt?
We didn't really struggle with the decision. We wanted to make that decision. We didn't really know how. Eh? Like, it wasn't, do we leave the rat race, do we not? We were like, we want to leave this rat race, but how do we do that? So that was the struggle. I think the doubt, though, for a lot of people, if you dig deep enough, this might not be the case for everyone, but the doubt actually comes from what other people will think of you. And that's something that we never ever have cared about. Like, we have just always done whatever we wanted, and we haven't taken anybody's opinion to heart, and just got on with it and done what we wanted to do. So that's definitely something you've got to get your head around. I think if you want to do this is, you know, you are going to get so many people saying ridiculous things like, oh, the kids are being neglected, those poor children are being brought up not in school, and
what about socialisation?
Oh, that old question, yeah.
What are you going to do for your retirement and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. So really, you've just got to have those answers in your mind, and you've got to be confident of those and know that you're doing the right thing for you. And if you've got that, honestly, nothing else matters. Like, just do it.
And I don't even care about giving them an answer. I just kind of shrug my shoulders and go, well, what's the point, actually?
Yeah. And that's it. You don't have to justify yourself to anybody, and we don't really. When we get negative comments, we're just kind of like, cool, sorry you feel that way, have a great day. We don't justify.
No.
There's no point.
There's a really cool saying, and it's so true. It's like, true freedom comes only after you unshackle yourself from other people's expectations. Just live the life you want to live. You don't need to justify it to anybody, and you don't need approval from anybody else. It's once you can get to that point, it's so free.
It is, it really is. It's just like this feeling of weight comes off your shoulders. You're like, wow, cool.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
So hopefully that answers that. Lindsay Mackay, does the need to keep moving play on your mind? Do the options, for example, stability for Daisy and Jake, less fuel costs, possibility of local work, local interaction for yourself, certainty of good overnight location come up in your conversations?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, definitely. Definitely more towards the end of last year, and this year we've been thinking more and more about that. And that's why we're going to hopefully get that piece of land in Raglan and just keep that as a bit of a base and a bit of consistency between travelling. So,
but we've definitely got to slow down. You know, yes, absolutely, the fuel costs are really expensive.
Yeah.
The one thing that you don't realise is that we have to pay 26 cents per kilometre that we drive. So we've now done 10,000 kilometers, which has cost us $2,600 just in taxes. It's a road user tax. So there's a lot of expenses in moving, and it is tiring. It's really tiring. So Suzanne W, your life seems to have got more hectic this year with the 2 big video projects, a TV program and the YouTube NZ video series. Is this causing more stress in your lives? Is it good stress or bad stress? Are you able to get individual downtime to relax and reboot? Amber, oh, that's the second part. So let's go on to that one.
Sorry, I'm only laughing because yes, it has, hasn't it?
What? Got hectic?
Added more stress.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
It just initially, I think, once it's off the ground, I don't think it'll be as bad. But.
Yeah. So our life has definitely got more hectic, but we spent a year just kind of chilling, relaxing, rebooting, recuperating from the system that we were in, the 9 to 5, the rat race, and we actually feel that it's time to kind of actually, you know, dream big. We've given ourselves permission to dream big, and if you look at our new goals that we've put on Patreon, that's our dream life, and that's what we've gone, you know what, let's dream big and put it out in the universe and make it happen. So as these little projects have come along, we've gone, yeah, because we think it's going to add to our lifestyle and help make those dreams come true. We're still going to turn things down, and we're not going to, you know, make our lives absolutely crazy, but why not have a go? Why not shoot for the stars? You know, and as long as we're still happy, we're still, you know, spending the time we need together, why not? And
because also, nobody really has a dream life, right? Like, unless you win $200 million at Lotto, you've still got to work. I mean, we still work, and so... And
also actually, we've found that you need a purpose in life. You can't just float around doing nothing. You actually get a wee bit bored, but it gets a bit pointless. So we want a purpose and we want things to do. So you know, that this is all part of it. So yeah.
The other thing is, while we're taking on these jobs and stuff, and while we're pushing ourselves and saying yes to things, is because while this life right now is really great, it really isn't sustainable on a long-term basis just doing this amount of work and just having this amount of money. I mean, we do think about our retirement and stuff like that, and obviously we're going to need a bit of land that's our own, and in order to buy one and to build maybe a tiny home or something like that we'd love to do, we need to keep saying yes and getting more income to make that happen. Because
and we don't want a mortgage, we don't want debt.
No, we're never ever getting a mortgage, we're never getting into debt over something. So basically doing just the amount of work that we did last year isn't sustainable for the next 5 years, 10 years. No.
Need a bit more growth.
Yeah.
Okay, Marsha. What happens when Jake and Daisy get too big for their boots? They get a clip around the ear.
For their boots? Or beds?
Bunks. What happens when Jake and Daisy get too big for their bunks? It's not like you can add on to their rooms. LOL. Their bunks are 6 foot long. I can lie down in them perfectly fine. So there's quite a bit of time before we need to worry about that. So we're not too fussed. And if we have that bit of land, our plan is to put some other little accommodation things on them so they can, you know, have their own caravan or van or tent or whatever it may be. So
you'll drive this crappy old van home and you'll be like, Jake, I bought you a house.
Yeah.
Do it up yourself. Good luck.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the plan. That will be fine for like 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's good till Jake's probably like 14 or 15 at least.
Yeah. Chris Ellis, planning for the future. I've got a 7-year-old daughter and we've done some homeschooling with her because of health problems. But while we're comfortable with that when she's her current age, it's going to get a lot harder when she gets to secondary school age, i.e. 11 plus. Do you have the same worries for Jake and Daisy, or do you have a plan?
Oh, yeah, good question. So I'm not sure. I think we feel the same, but I kind of feel the opposite to that. I've got less of a concern to homeschool them when they're older, because really when they're in high school I feel like they learn a lot of irrelevant information.
They'll learn their basics when they're young, and then we'll allow them to be creative and chase their passions when they're a bit older. That's kind of the plan for us, really, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, how many people learnt years and years of high school and never needed it? I did. I mean, if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, absolutely you need to go, and it's got a place. Like, school's definitely got a place. I'm not saying it doesn't, but for our kids who, I don't think they'll do that. It's not going to be really important.
Unless they really want to, then they can.
Yeah.
Mandy and Scott, we noticed in one of the vids that Andy was cooking a delicious grass-fed organic steak on the Weber, but that it looked like it was just on Amber's plate. Don't you eat meat, Andy? I don't eat anything other than meat.
He only eats meat.
Basically a meat. I think that was my plate.
Oh, probably.
You were just tasting, I think she was just tasting my steak.
Oh no, I was, because I only bought one, and so you had it, and I was like, oh man, that's so nice.
Yeah. So.
Last night for dinner, Andy had a plate full of snapper that he'd caught fresh the day before, fried in butter. That was his dinner.
And that was it?
No veggies, just fish.
Oh, I squeezed lemon juice on it. Does that count?
Oh, could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a carnivore.
You will never ever see me turn into a vegan, put it that way. Sorry vegans, nothing against you, but not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me. Andrew and Amber. Oh my god, that's another Andrew and Amber.
I know, that's so cute, isn't it?
How do you feel about new migrants moving to New Zealand to live and work there? Well, there's already an Andrew and Amber living in New Zealand. Sorry guys, you can't come. You're done. Are migrants generally welcomed, or is this a sensitive issue for Kiwis, apart from tourists driving on the wrong side of the road? Of course. I mean, how do we feel about migrants moving here? We like the multiculturalism that cities like Auckland offer. You know, it's actually really cool. I guess the only thing is that, just like probably anyone's country, you certainly hope that they assimilate somewhat into your country and respect the environment and the way of life that you have.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing. It's when those migrants take away from, you know, the Kiwi way of life, I guess. But hey, we're all migrants.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
we're
right.
all migrants. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the other thing is space. I remember being young and we just got to 3 million people living in New Zealand, and now it's 5 million people. So, you know, I mean, it's not obviously all migrants, but yeah. We don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And we don't have a problem with tourists either.
No, we absolutely
I know that
don't.
twice we mentioned things, but it's not, we don't have a problem with it. Like, we would, if we had a problem with it, we wouldn't be promoting New Zealand overseas. So.
I mean, tourists are a huge part of our economy. So without them, probably couldn't even be doing this without them, to be honest. So.
Next question from Carrie. I'd love to know what have been your top 5 experiences on your travels in the past year. Great and difficult question.
Top 5. Shivers.
The West Coast was awesome. The top half of the West Coast, at least, anyway.
In the South Island, when we went through the West Coast, we got 3 weeks of sun, and that is unheard of on the West Coast because it's very, very wet there. And probably like the top 3 things were there. Kohaihai was awesome.
Yeah.
That was definitely one. Kinna Beach in Nelson would have been one with the bath on the beach.
Yeah. Oh, up in Northland was really nice, in Whangarei, around
Ocean Beach. Yeah, that was really nice.
Whangarei Heads.
That was right at the beginning of our trip.
Yeah.
When we left here.
Raglan's was nice. Kaiteri.
Kaiteri over... The Abel Tasman was pretty cool, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. That's 5.
It's hard to... Yeah.
Yeah. There's been so many actually, hasn't there?
Yeah, the whole thing's been an amazing adventure.
Yeah.
Next question, Mike and Dawn Murphy. Hey guys, is your refrigerator on its own solar and battery system, and how's it working out for you? It's not on its own system, it just runs off our main battery bank. It does have its own 400 watt inverter that it runs off, and it works awesomely.
Yeah.
It uses
like a dream.
When you have no solar, it uses about 50 amp hours of your batteries a day, so that gets us through without having to go under like 80% of our capacity. It gets us about 4 or 5 days. So that's the only thing, is when you have extended periods of bad weather, you can start to run your batteries down, which it's happened twice. Yeah. Basically.
Twice in a year. So
it's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone's looking at buying a freezer like for a bus, I would definitely consider this exact model, especially in New Zealand.
I'll put a link to it down below so you know what we're talking about. The Renegade Life. Thanks for doing a Q&A. No worries. Where did you guys get your curtains that rolled down? Do you like them? They're basically just blinds from Spotlight, like a local haberdashery. Is that a word?
Department store.
Okay.
Yeah, these were really cheap. We did the whole bus for about between $400 and $500, and they were a lot longer than we needed. But my dad actually helped us cut them down and install them, which was awesome. And I mean, they're not going to last for like in 3 years. We'll probably have to replace them, but they're great for now. And they actually roll up super small. Oh, come on, play the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love them. They're awesome.
Yeah, that's very good. And next question from them as well was, has being a YouTube content creator been everything you ever hoped and dreamed for? We never hoped and dreamed for this, actually, to be honest. So it's far exceeded that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, it's fun, we love it. It's still work, it's still something to do, but it's, yeah, I really like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was quite hard to get used to be honest, especially for me, and you as well. There's just something really confronting and kind of a bit weird about watching yourself on camera or having a camera in your face and talking to it. I mean, I'm totally fine with it now, but it did take a while to get used to that and to be really confident in front of the camera because, yeah, I mean... And
also the Kiwi way is like, you don't stick your head above the crowd.
Yeah, and yeah, so totally, yeah.
For me to think that there's people that are even interested in anything that I have to say is just a real hard thing to get my head around.
Yeah, but, we still struggle with that sort of sometimes. We're like, sometimes I'm like, do people still want to keep watching?
But no, it's fun, it's great. I mean, we wouldn't give it up unless it wasn't working anymore, really. Yeah. Okay, next question from Liz, who got really personal.
She followed the instructions, at least.
We'll answer it. Do you still get one-on-one sexy time without too much hassle since the kids are literally almost in your bed? And does it kill the flame a bit?
No, not really. I mean, we've got a door that locks, so moving right along.
Also, have you had any bad neighbours when travelling? Yes, one terrible one in particular.
Have a really bad one like 2 days ago.
Yeah, in a green bus, and her name was Liz.
She just like pulled right up behind us.
Yeah.
Liz just
invited herself in for coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And fed chickens outside the bus. So
entertained the kids and took like all day. It was just awful.
I know.
Thanks for that, by the way, Liz. That was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, next one.
Gary, Gary's back again.
Oh, Gary.
Have you and the kids seen Moana yet? Our boys and us love it.
Yes, we have seen Moana. We've actually bought it. We've got it on our TV. We've got the soundtrack. The kids listen to it every day.
They're obsessed by it.
We love it. Daisy is Moana. I've got a photo of her being Moana.
I carved a Maui's fishhook out of a bit of wood for Jakey to play with, and lost it after 2 days.
But they actually play Moana as well as a game. So I bought Daisy the Moana outfit for Christmas, and she put it on the other day, and she decided that Moana had dark hair and she had blonde hair, and I was like, well, we better get the hair chalk out. So we hair chalked her hair really dark, and this is Daisy as Moana.
Actually, you put that on the lens thing, didn't you?
I did put this on the lens thing.
So yeah, lenses on your phone, on your app, and you just click on the top and little circle, you'll see some stories from us. It's like Instagram stories and stuff we'll only share with you patrons. So yeah, check it out.
So if you're bored, check it out because we're going to start putting more and more of our daily stuff on there. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Cool, awesome.
Okay, thanks guys, that was cool.
Yeah, and if you have any other questions, hit us up, I guess.
Yeah, just ask away.
Yeah, don't be afraid to send us messages and emails, and make sure if you do send us an email, tell us that you're a patron, because we can't always answer every email we get, but anything from a patron we always do. So yeah.
Also, check your messages in Patron as well, because I've sent quite a few out and no one's replied, and I don't know if you guys get them or not, or if you get an email to say, hey, you've got a message, or maybe you need to change your settings inside Patron so that it lets you know you've got a message. I don't know, but just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
All right. We'll see you soon, I guess, in a couple of days.